live. What's good? What's good, my peopleizations? What's shaking? What's shaking? New Jersey, Mike Biggs Boxing, GTD, my brother, Corey Yellowman Jackson, Train 22, Rico Shaw, Real 6, SB90. Salute to my peoples, man. Salute. Hold on. Trying to get my brother in. Salute, Rico Shaw. Salute to my people, man. What's shaking? What's shaking? My peopleizations. What's shaking, man? What's shaking, my peoples, man? We're gonna have a great show today, man. Kenneth Johnson, Ty King alive. Salute. What's shaking, my peoples, man? We're gonna have a great show today. You know, we're gonna have okay. Hey, Chris, you could do me a favor? You could just link these two together. So I'm gonna try to do I gotta do one. Christopher West, Omega Cam, it's just boxing. Lauren Bevel, what's going on, Lauren? Peace and blessings to you, Queen. Salute. We're gonna have a great show today, man. We're gonna have a special guest come on. Expecting a special guest. Alycia Baumgardner will be coming on. We're gonna have my co-host coming on, Marco J. Bo. Salute. What's shaking? Salute to my brother Lou Hain, Calvin Johnson, Dun Dada. Salute. Smash the like button, my peoples. So we're gonna have everybody, Mahari Nation, my brother, Mahari Nation, man, sports podcast. Salute to you, my brother. Yeah, we're gonna have a special guest on. You know, we're gonna make it happen today, man. We're gonna make it do what it do. You understand? Smash the like button, my peoples. Let's get them likes all the way up. You know, let's grind, man. Let's grind. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's make it happen. You dig? PK Boxing MMA. Salute to my peoples, man. So we're gonna make it happen, man. We're gonna make it do what it do today. You know, we're gonna grind. You know, like I said, we're gonna have a special guest. Alycia Baumgardner will be on. I'm waiting for my co-host Kurt Sugar, aka Kurt Anderson, to jump on in here. You know, and we're gonna make it happen, man. So smash the like button. TBABTMC, salute. Tony Mack, salute. We're gonna talk about we're gonna discuss, you know, this Saul Canelo Alvarez, Sergey Kovalev fight that's going on. We're gonna discuss this weekend's fights. We're gonna discuss, you know, Deontay Wilder Ortiz fight that's coming up. We in the month of November, man. It's coming up on us fast, man. Friday is the month of November. Marquise Johnson, Pop Player, Christopher West, and then we're gonna have call-in, man. So we're gonna do the call-in show. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it do what it do today. You heard me, my peopleizations? We're gonna make it do what it do. So we're gonna make it happen, man. We're gonna make it do what it do. Smash the like button, my peopleizations. Ronald Finkley, what's good? What's shaking, my peoples? We're gonna make it happen, man. So I'm just waiting. I'm just trying to get everything situated, get everybody on up in here, man. So salute to everybody, man. Salute to my peopleizations, man. Let's make it happen, man. You understand? You understand me? Let's get a little music for my peoples, man. Y'all want to hear a little music? You dig what I'm saying? While we wait for my brother Kurt Anderson to jump on in here. Waiting for my brother Kurt Anderson, a.k.a. Kurt Sugar. The first God, 720. Salute to you, King. Let's get it, my peoples. Salute to my brother Marco J. Bo. Salute. Got the brother Kurt Anderson right here. Kurt, what's going on with you? No, stay right here.
Okay.
Got you. They can hear you.
Oh, they can hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
We on live?
We live.
What's going on, chat?
Hey, y'all can hear Kurt loud and clear, right, my peopleizations? Loud and clear. We got the historian on the line, my brother Kurt Anderson, a.k.a. Kurt Sugar, a.k.a. the historian, a.k.a. my co-host. What's good? Hey, Kurt, go ahead and talk. Make sure they can hear you.
What's going on, everybody? We got a lot to talk about. We got a guest tonight, a special guest, and glad to be talking this boxing talk, man. What's going on, everybody?
Man, it's great, man. We had a great weekend. We had a great weekend of boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? We had an awesome weekend, man. We had for us hardcore boxing fans, you know what I mean, Kurt? We had and I was at the Robert Easter Granados and Erickson Lubin Gallimore fight. Then we had the Shakur Stevenson Joet Gonzalez fight. We also had the Josh Taylor Regis Prograis fight. We also had the Dereck Chisora David Price fight on that card, man. So we had a great weekend of fights, man, and they was all action packed. Black Thanos, seen the unseen boxing. Salute, Patrick Scott. What's good? And Kurt, you know what too, Kurt? I keep forgetting the we got a super chat, so remind me about that. After
don't worry about it. Yeah, we'll talk behind it.
Yeah. I just seen it right now, and but yeah, just remind me about that. Kel C, salute. Mike Biggs Boxer, salute. So we're gonna have we got a super chat from Marco J. Bo, salute. He said, I don't want to interrupt the show once it gets going, but can you find out if Alycia got a man? Roy Boy Florida, man. Salute. Yeah, I ask it, man. I ask everything, man. Marco J. Bo, I ask everything, man. You understand? Woolbag, salute. Todd King alive, salute. Yeah, smash the like button, my peoples. Yeah, Kurt. So we had a awesome week of boxing, man. So my thoughts is for us hardcore boxing fans, man. If I didn't have to travel, so I left. I left to go up there to Reading, Pennsylvania, man. That's where we was at, Reading, Pennsylvania, and that's where the Easter Granados card was. So I watched I got to rewatch the Regis Prograis Josh Taylor fight. I watched it while I was driving up, up there to Pennsylvania. I also watched. I got a chance to watch the Dereck Chisora fight, while I was settled just before I left. I mean, I caught the end of it just as I got on the road, as I was on the Belt Parkway, when I caught the end of that fight, But as far as the other fights, I caught it on the road, and then obviously I was at the I caught the Lubin fight. The fights kind of overlapped. Elvis Henson salute. It overlapped in the sense where I walked with Adrian Broner and Robert Easter back to the dressing room, and Lubin walked past us. So it was like I didn't, you know what I mean? It was hard for me to try and catch, the reaction and then catch the beginning of Lubin and Gallimore fight. That's the only thing I don't like about working the fights. I missed the first 2 rounds of that fight. You know what I mean? So Thomas Morland, salute. But I caught the from round 3 to the end, but I missed the first 2 rounds of it. I thought Erickson Lubin was very impressive and something that you guys can't see and hear, on TV. But Gallimore was very disrespectful the entire fight, man. We could hear him talking in the fight. I don't know if you guys could see him talking, but his team was sitting ringside, which they was cool. I ended up sitting with them because I was tired of moving around. Mark Blake, salute. I was tired of moving around and ended up sitting with right behind Gallimore. So if you look at the fight, you'll see me sitting like I'm directly behind his corner team. One Main TV, salute. And he had no respect for Erickson Lubin going into the fight, man. My brother Fred, Barbershop Conversations in the building. Hey, bro, I missed your last couple of shows, man. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I just my time been off, man. Salute to my brother Fred, Barbershop Conversation. Go subscribe to his channel, man. That's my brother right there, man. I missed the first fight. Seth Rosenhoff, salute. I missed the first part of the Lubin Gallimore fight. But the Robert Easter fight, I felt like Robert Easter made that fight tougher than he had to. I thought that he clearly could have outboxed him. He said that's good because unbelievable. Kwame, salute. Hey man, it's all good, my brother. Eric R, salute. Bound South D-Town, salute. But yeah, so what I thought that Dereck Chisora felt like David Price was soft and he didn't want to let him breathe, so he just blitzed him right from the opening bell, and I was impressed by Dereck Chisora, man. I was impressed by his first fight with Dillian White. I thought he won. The second fight with Dillian White, I thought he was winning until he got knocked out, but I was very impressed with him. He's a clear case of his resume and his doesn't explain what kind of fighter he is. You know what I'm saying? He lost 2 fights to Tyson Fury. He lost to Vitaly Klitschko. But his resume don't tell the whole truth about the type of fighter that Dereck Chisora is. What's your thoughts on the Dereck Chisora fight?
Well, he was very impressive. I knew he was going to knock his opponent out. Dereck Chisora, like you said, because I was going to bring up the fact that he looked impressive. I thought he beat Dillian White the first fight. He was winning the second fight before he got caught with White's left hook. He's the quintessential blue collar workman. Has a lot of dog in him type of fighter. There's nothing special about him, but he comes to fight, and that's all you can ask for. His record, he has a lot of losses. I believe 9 or 10, 9, if I'm not mistaken. But his skill and style doesn't reflect that. He's going to give it his all. I know he was going. Who did he fight? Fury? I know. No, Price.
David Price. Yeah.
Price. I'm sorry. For some reason, I get David Price and Hero Fury mixed up.
Yeah, me too. Same here.
I get them mixed up for sure. But I knew he was going to take Price out. Price has a big right hand, but certain fighters doesn't act well when they get hit. And Price is one of those fighters. We call it a soft chin. And as soon as I seen Chisora putting pressure on Price, I knew he was going to get him out of there. So let's see what happens with Chisora. I believe Joseph Parker called out Chisora. I read it on a boxing website. So let's see what happens. Chisora is still a player in the game.
Yeah. Matthew Valentine, Elvis Hansen, salute. Around the world, salute. Ronald Finkley, my brother, salute. I don't. Omega Guns, Omega Cam, salute. Joseph Parker, I think he just. I don't like Joseph Parker's mannerism when it comes to being in the ring. You know, I just think that he takes it too lightly. I thought he lost the Andy Ruiz fight, and I think that Dereck Chisora is going to beat him because he's going to blitz him. He's going to force him in a fight. But it seems like sometimes, at times, with Joseph Parker, he'll when you get him back him into a corner like Dillian White did, he'll fight. You know, Marcos Cano, salute. Dane Watson, salute. So I think that Dereck Chisora will come out fighting, but he did also call out if he can't get the Joseph Parker fight. He did say he'll take the fight with Alexander Usyk. You know, so he definitely wants the Usyk fight, whether it be before Joseph Parker or after. But he wants the Joseph Parker fight because of the build up for the Joseph Parker fight. You know, but what did you think about the main event on that card, Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor? I personally felt like Josh Taylor's footwork proved to be the difference in that fight, especially when they was on the inside. The angles he was giving Regis Prograis on the inside, he was countering him. You know, he was hitting him with cleaner punches. You know, he was switching levels. He was going up and down, where Regis Prograis seemed to be, more focused on the body, which was good. You know, he did great body work in the beginning, but I think he was just getting hit with the bigger shots. I think that his power deceived him. I thought that, he's so used to his power showing up for him. It didn't show up. Josh Taylor was able to absorb his punches, and I thought that Josh Taylor punching power had more effect. His punches had more effect on Regis than Regis did on Josh Taylor. What was your thoughts, though, Kurt?
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I thought so too. I was surprised that Taylor took Prograis' power, but maybe he wasn't the puncher we thought he was. And I hate fighters to depend on their power, because most fighters that depend on their fighter, they don't have a plan B or C. Prograis had no answer for the counter right hooks, the strength of Taylor. But, you give Taylor credit, because it was a gritty fight and he had more dog than Prograis. I didn't like Prograis' body language either in some rounds, but he tried to pick himself back up. I thought he won the last two rounds, 11th and 12th round. But, fighting in the UK, when you have a hometown fighter that throws a lot of punches and is very aggressive, it's going to sway the judges. It's just natural human instinct. The crowd is cheering every punch, even the punches don't land. He let Taylor muscle him. Taylor strength surprised Prograis, and Prograis had no answer. He thought he was going to wear Taylor down with body shots, and Taylor, I don't know, what his weight was in the fight, but I'll tell you, Prograis was surprised that he took those punches, to the midsection, man, and. Taylor proved that he's a very good fighter. I would love to see him and Ramirez. Maybe that fight can happen, in a perfect boxing world. That was a good fight. Prograis is not a bad fighter. He needs to improve on some things, man. And, it's levels to this game, and him wanting to fight the big boys, Crawford. If he would have won, that's what would have happened, So maybe for his sake, it's good that he didn't want, because Crawford was going to end his career. He's not on that level. He has some things to prove, to work on, and he can improve. So let's see what happened. Taylor's just a big 140. I thought the size of Taylor bothered Prograis, and I watched that fight. Draw or Taylor had no problems with the scoring, only the 117. 112 or whatever he had it. I thought Taylor won 115, 113.
Yeah, I thought, that's exactly how I had it. I thought Taylor won by 2 rounds. I had it exact same as you had it. I thought it was 115, 113. And it was, to me, it was just the cleaner punches to the top. Carl Lavoie, salute. I thought he was landing the cleaner counter punches. And he started to prove himself. Chosen 115, salute. He started to prove himself in the pocket. He started to separate himself in the pocket, and then Regis tried to fight at a distance. And I thought the only way Regis could win was to fight from the outside. Fight on the inside. Excuse me. And he proved not to be the better fighter. So at that point, I realized after round 4, I'm like, he gonna lose unless he catch Josh Taylor with something big and seriously hurt him. So. You know, I didn't expect it to be for Josh Taylor to separate himself that big. You know, but I still think that both of them could beat Jose Ramirez, because I don't like his defense. He does have power. He clipped Maurice Hooker and hurt Maurice Hooker, but you know, I still believe that Prograis and Taylor could both beat Jose Ramirez. I'm not a big fan of Jose Ramirez, man. I'm just not, man. I'm not sold on that dude, man. So what did you think about the Shakur Stevenson, Joet Gonzalez fight? This is a fight that I totally missed. I'm not even gonna begin to lie. I didn't see the fight. I saw highlights of the fight because I was at the fight, and I got no service in there to even look at ESPN Plus. So Ohio runs boxing, pull counter boxing, salute. So I didn't get a chance. Eric R, salute. I didn't get a chance to see that fight. So I'm just going based off of what everybody else told me, and I still haven't rewatched it on ESPN Plus because for some reason I just can't get it to play the service or whatever, man. So I didn't see that fight. I missed it because I was at the fights, but I hear everybody saying that Shakur just outclassed him. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's correct. He outclassed him. Shakur Stevenson's footwork was very good. He's a good boxer. You know, and I said this many times. Where Joet Gonzalez comes from, the mentality and the culture of boxing, it goes deeper than the style. He come from a school where he thinks he could just come forward and throw a lot of punches. But like I said previous times, that when you fight a certain fighter that has footwork, it can neutralize everything that Gonzalez does, and that's what happened with Shakur Stevenson. His feet were entirely too fast. You know, his left hand to the body, was very good, very effective. He threw combinations, he pop shot it, he did what he wanted to do. The distance was killing Gonzalez. You know, Stevenson, every time Gonzalez came in, Stevenson took a half step back. He fired when he wanted to land, to get out the way. His defense was really good. Step to the side. He took like I said, a half step back, got his whole body out the way. When Gonzalez tried to go to the body, I gave Gonzalez one round. I believe it was the 7th round, but it was a whitewash, man. He took him to the woodshed. They still fighting, and Stevenson's is still winning rounds, man. It's just a matter of styles. That style is not going to resonate when you fight a guy who can box and who has footwork. And I said it many times: perpetual and rhythmic motion. And Gonzalez really thought he was going to do damage because he was talking about we sparred and he don't got nothing. Well, Shakur is getting better and better in each fight. And I really believe he could have stepped on the gas. Maybe it was something personal. Maybe he just wanted to box him or outbox him or whatever. But when looking at that fight again, I believe he held back. And he just made Gonzalez look silly. So, it was a virtuoso performance, and he's now a WBO featherweight champion, and he's from my hometown, Newark, New Jersey, and we're proud of him, man. Another champion from Newark, man. So we're expecting bigger things, and maybe he can have a fight at the Prudential Center in Newark. I'll go to support him, but Gonzalez ain't have a chance in hell. Entirely too slow.
Yeah, I got to go back and rewatch the fight, but from what I'm hearing, he just simply outcast him. And like you just said, you felt like Shakur could have closed the show, and I see people in the chat saying Shakur took it easy on him. I don't know if the situation with his girlfriend and that whole situation caused him to not want to seriously put the pause on him. You know what I mean? But what did you think about another fight? The Granados Robert Easter fight. Me personally, I thought that Robert Easter made it tougher than I was sitting ringside, and you could hear me screaming if you watch the fight. You could hear me. That's me in the back saying, "Use your jab," and just screaming, man. Use your jab, man. He could have kept the distance. He didn't have to. He started to make it a dog fight because he visibly gassed out. And this was his first fight at 40. So. To go up to 140 and this be your first fight at 140, you should have far more energy because you went up in weight. You know what I mean? So I thought he clearly won the fight, but I thought that, you know, he made the fight much, much tougher than it needed to be. I thought that he could have used his distance. He just seems he can't help himself, and that's where I say he'll go wrong facing Regis Prograis or Josh Taylor, because if he just fought with and used the physical attributes that he has, he could have beat Mikey Garcia. If he would have just used his height and his reach and his distance, he was still against Mikey Garcia. He was the faster fighter. You know, against Mikey Garcia, he was the quicker fighter. He didn't have more power than Mikey Garcia, but, you know, he should have been able to outbox Mikey Garcia, and shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know, but he have the height, he has the advantages, and he just chooses not to use them. He gets into a dogfight, and that's why I said if he ever get into a fight with Regis Prograis or Josh Taylor, that's going to be his downfall, because he can't help himself but to get into, you know, a dogfight. Salute to Matthew Valentine in the super chat. He said, Booba Kurt, is Shakur ready for Gary Russell? Hashtag LDBC. I don't think so. Jay Cooley, my brother, in the super chat, he said, if I felt Shakur should have got him out of there. Yeah, I didn't watch the fight, but that's what Kurt just said, and I see everybody else in the chat saying the same thing, man. You know, but yeah, Kurt, back to Robert Easter, and we'll answer that question in a second if Shakur is ready for Gary Russell, Matthew Valentine. We'll get to that in 1 second. But what was your thoughts on the Robert Easter Granados fight?
Well, nothing personal against Robert Easter Jr. I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan. I don't like fighters who have all the physical attributes and don't use them. You know, he has a very low ring IQ. I thought he lost against Shakurov. I thought he lost against definitely Fortuna. I knew he wasn't going to beat Mikey. He doesn't use what he got. You know, he should be fighting like Tommy Hearns, man. He should engage distance. He's tall, lanky. He got the reach. He should be fighting behind his jab instead of fighting on the inside. Ronaldo is coming off a knockout loss to Garcia. You know, Danny Garcia, that is. So I thought Easter was going to get him out of there 7-8 rounds. He should have had more energy, like you said, moving up in weight. The first good 140-pounder fighter he fight, he's going to lose. I'm telling you that now. He's going to get caught on the inside with something short, like a hook or something, and he's going to be on the canvas. I can see that. You know, it's going to cost him. He's going to try to fight on the inside, you know, and he's going to get caught with something he ain't going to see. You know, he has the pedigree, you know, but he just doesn't, you know, use it in the ring. When that bell rings, you know, IQ means a lot, man. It really does. You know, you make the fight harder for yourself when you do that. And he struggled with, not struggled, he won, but he should have been more impressive. So I'm going to wait to see who he fights next, you know, but I'm just not a Robert Easter Jr. fan.
Yeah, man. You know, I agree, man. I think he have all the skill set. He just chooses not to capitalize on them, you know. That's just the bottom line. It's not much more you can say. It's like when we say Adrian Broner needs to let his hands go, you know. It's just he have all the skill set to do it. He just seems like he chooses to be in a dogfight, you know. But what did you think about Erickson Lubin Gallimore? I thought that once Erickson Lubin loosened up, because I said when the fight first started, while I was sitting there, I told people, I said, man, he looks real dry. When he was sitting ringside, when I was sitting ringside, I thought that he looked real dry, you know, and I said, you know, he needs to, you know, loosen up. And once he got loose, man, and let his combinations go, it wasn't even close, man. I thought that everybody in the arena felt like he carried the fight. He could have closed the show, but it seemed like he just wanted to work him, man. He wanted to punish him. And they were talking back and forth, man, big time. See, you guys can't hear it on TV because you hear the commentators, you hear, you know, everything else. But in the arena, there is no we can't hear the commentators. There's no music playing. The only thing you can hear is them trading punches and them talking. And boy, was they talking in there. Boy, was they talking big talk, man. I can't even say what they were saying in the ring, boy, but they was talking, man. Lubin was talking to his corner. His corner was talking to them. You know, man, oh man. We got Miss Boxing on the line. Peace and blessings to you, Queen. How you doing?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I just walked up in the door.
All right, all right. So we was
Yeah.
talking about this weekend fights. I was just talking about the Erickson Lubin Gallimore fight.
Hmm.
And I was just saying that once Erickson Lubin, I'm hearing the echo. That's your phone? Yeah. So uh, uh, I thought that once he got loose, once Erickson Lubin got loose, and his body loosened up, man, they was talking big talk, man. They was going back and forth. They was jawing back and forth, man. And Lubin was talking to Gallimore's corner. Like I said, I was sitting right behind him. If you look on TV, you can see me sitting right behind him, man. They was talking big talk, man. And it seemed like he didn't want to knock him out. He just wanted to punish him, man. What's your thoughts, Kurt?
I really like Erickson Lubin, man. I can see the skill set. I like his foot placement. He doesn't have blazing foot speed, but he's good at getting himself in position to punch, and I see that. I like that. I like his combinations. He's a strong puncher, but I see what he's doing. He's improving on his boxing skill set. He's just not relying on his power. He was like that before the Charlo fight. I truly believe the Charlo defeat, made him a better fighter because it made him realize that I just can't bomb everybody out. And usually young fighters with power is like that. And they don't learn until they get defeated. And he went through that with Charlo. And if you ever fight Charlo again, that's a tough fight. And I'm gonna tell you something in the 154-pound weight division. Tony Harrison, J Rock, and Lubin, you could put them all in a pot and stir it and get gumbo. They the same prototype. They good boxers with power. And you could throw Charlo in there too. You can all those guys at 154 pounds ain't no joke, man. And I really like Lubin. I was very impressed. Gallimore is not easy fighter to fight. He was in a ring with J Rock, even though he lost. He put on a gallant effort. He upset Justin Deloach, an up and coming fighter. Deloach hasn't been the same. Gallimore is strong, but Lubin just had too much skill. Top pedigree, great amateur. Some people say he was a better amateur than Earl Spence Jr. When he was coming up, and he's going to be champion. I don't know who he's going to be, but anybody who steps in the ring with Erickson Lubin is going to have a handful. You better be ready.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that fight, Miss Watson?
Can you hear me? I'm not sure if it's an echo, but
Yeah, I can hear you.
okay. I definitely think he looked really good. Um, I mean, what is this about his fourth or fifth win since he lost? And it's like he did what fighters are supposed to do when they lose like that. They're supposed to go back to the drawing board, fix it, come back as a better fighter, and he definitely has. And I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with. And in a rematch, I don't know. I can't even call that one. But I definitely enjoyed the fight, and hopefully we can see that rematch. I don't know. I haven't really heard anything about that. If there was, I didn't notice if there were any call outs or anything like that. But that's definitely something I would want to see.
And what was your thoughts on the Regis Prograis Josh Taylor fight?
I felt that. I felt that. I think they pretty much underestimated each other. It seemed like, but it seemed like that the Regis, um, I'm not gonna say he allowed him to bully him, allowed Taylor to bully him, but he 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 allowed Taylor to dictate the pace of the fight, and he should have went in there and he should have been the aggressor. I kind of felt like that's what I was gonna see, but I did originally pick Taylor to win. I just thought he was a better technical fighter, and Regis was more of a, I'm not going to say street fighter, but I'm going to say street fighter. So I thought it was a technical side versus street side. And I did think Taylor was going to pull it out. I had it very close. I think I had it 7 rounds to 5. So it was very close. A draw would have been okay. I wouldn't have had a problem with that. But it was definitely a good fight. And I know Prograis is going to come back, and hopefully he goes back to the drawing board, figured out what he needs to do. And I would love to see that rematch.
Yeah, I agree with you. Kurt had it 115, 113, and it seemed like you had it the same way. I had it 115, 113 too. We all had it Regis losing by 2 rounds. And I understand what you're saying when you said a dog fight, you know, a street fighter versus, because Regis relies on his power a lot, and it seemed like his power didn't show up. And when his power deceived him in this fight, he had no other answers, man. He came doing the same thing. He made no adjustments in the fight, and on the inside, the counter ability of Josh Taylor and the footwork of Josh Taylor in the pocket, to me, was the difference in the fight. That proved to be the difference in the fight. The footwork of Josh Taylor on the inside, you know, that proved to be the difference in the fight to me. You know, but let's talk about this upcoming Saturday. We got Saul Canelo Alvarez making his light heavyweight debut, attempting to be great, man. Me personally, I think that he's gonna stop Sergey Kovalev. If he could get past the jab, you know, and before I even say that, I want to say this to you guys. Sergey Kovalev is too how I want to say it? He's too thankful that Canelo Alvarez gave him this opportunity. I don't know if you guys saw, they have on DAZN, they have this it's like a 24/7 all access type of series they got going on with Canelo and Sergey Kovalev. And every time Sergey Kovalev sees, the one thing he said to him that got me is, as soon as he seen him for the first time, he said to Kovalev, Canelo, he said, oh, how did you get so big so fast? You got a lot of muscles so quick. How did you get so big? And, you know, I was like, you know, we already know the reports and everything that took place with Canelo with the failed test and everything. And for Sergey and he was rubbing his shoulders and squeezing his arms in his traps. He's like, man, you got big fast. How did you get so big so fast? You know, but, you know, that was the one thing. But outside of that, even then, Kovalev kept thanking Canelo Alvarez. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And Canelo Alvarez is saying to him, you're welcome. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? You, outside of the Andre Ward fight and the one blemish with Alycia Alvarez that you later avenged, the first Andre Ward fight was so close. You know, there's people that think Kovalev still won the first fight. I'm not one of them, but there's people that thought Kovalev won the first fight. And then the second fight was still another close fight until he got stopped. The Alycia Alvarez, you know, he was winning that fight until he got stopped, but he came back and won that fight in dramatic fashion. You know, he came back and outclassed Alycia Alvarez. So you still are the cream of the 175-pound division, because all the other guys outside of Bertavita and Bovdic just, you know, fought in a unification bout. But before that, he still was the name in the division, you know. So for him to be so thankful to Canelo Alvarez, yeah, Canelo Alvarez is the biggest star. We know that he has more accomplishments. He went through more weight classes, because when you started light heavyweight, you're only going to go to cruiserweight or heavyweight. You know, the sky is limited. You know, it's not sky's the limit. But when you start at 54, like Canelo did, yeah, he can make so many different jumps in weight and more accomplishments. But I don't like the fact that he's so thankful. Oh, thank you. I appreciate this. I appreciate you giving me an opportunity. What are you talking about? You're a champion. You're a two-time champion, just like this man is. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You think so thankful that he gave you the opportunity. What are you talking about? You was perceived as the boogeyman in the sport of boxing for years until Andre Ward you know, debunked that. He was perceived, even in the Andre Ward fight, the first fight, Andre Ward was the underdog. So I don't understand how he's so thankful. And because of that, I think that and after the Yard fight and him showing that, you know, he just, the stamina is just not there and never was. And now with age, it's going to get worse. I think that, and he showed his body, you know, going to the body is not, you know, he just don't like it. He just can't take it. So I just think that, you know, that Canelo's going to stop him, because he's going to focus. And Sergey continues to talk about, I know he's going to attack. He said that he's building up his body, because he's going to put a shield around his body, because he know that's where Canelo is coming to attack. So to me, it's like, I don't know, man. It's first sign of adversity. I feel like Sergey Kovalev is going to just fold and just throw in the towel, man. What you think, Kurt?
I agree. I got Canelo by a 9th round TKO, because people who picking Kovalev, They're talking about the Kovalev when he was a crusher. And just like Andre Ward said, he's not the crusher any longer. He's Sergey Kovalev. And I agree with him. You know, it would have been a very interesting fight. The Kovalev that fought Andre Ward in the first fight. I truly believe that the second Ward fight took a lot out of Kovalev, even though he was knocked out by Alvarez and he gained the title. That's because Alvarez was ill prepared mentally and physically. You know, he thought he was just going to show and beat Kovalev again, and don't work like that every time. Canelo ring IQ is being underestimated. He's going to break Kovalev down to the body because to beat Canelo, you have to use the ring. You have to move left or right, back up, because he doesn't have good footwork, but he has great upper body movement. And he's going to throw the jab out there. And it's going to be very interesting for the first 6 rounds. But after the 6th round, Canelo's going to slowly take over the fight, and it's going to be a left hook, you know, to the ribs. And don't forget, because I studied Canelo, I know him very well. He has this move when he fights all the fighters, like he'll fake a left jab to the body and come over the top with the right hand. Go look at the Amir Khan fight, and that's how he set up Amir Khan. He also set up Kirkland with that same move. So that's one of his signature moves, you know, for a taller fighter. So look for him to land that overhand right and the left hook to the ribs. I like Canelo and about 9th round TKO.
What's your thoughts, Ms. Boxing?
I agree with both of you. I really think that, well, first of all, both of them, to me, both of them are slow starters. But Kovalev really showed his aging in his last fight with Yard. He started off so slow, and he was getting touched up the first 4 rounds. I would say that Canelo, even though he's a slow starter too, he's probably going to take advantage of that early, go to the body and whatnot. And I think it's going to end around 6 rounds. I know that it's not the same Kovalev, yeah, but it's better than a Rocky Fielding, right? So, I mean, it'll probably be it'll probably be, I think it's going to be a slow fight. I don't see a lot happening in the rounds. I don't see a lot of punches being thrown or anything like that. I think it's going to be a slow fight, but I think Canelo is definitely going to have the harder, more effective punches to the body in the beginning, going to break him down, and I think he'll be out by the 6th round.
Yeah, I agree. I think that him just admitting that Canelo is going to go to his body, and him admitting that, you know, he wants to put a protective shield around his body to, you know, to prevent Canelo from getting into his body. And, you know, I just think that they focus. Now, he has a beautiful jab, and like Kurt said, you know, a lot of people are focused on the crusher, and he's no longer that, you know. But, you know, I see that a lot of people are, you know, banking on him and his jab. He must use the jab. He can't get away from using the jab. The moment he gets away from using the jab is the moment he's going to be in big trouble. So he can't get away from using the jab. He must stick to using the jab, and he must stay disciplined with it. And he cannot, his stamina can't. He needs to focus on the 1-2. He needs to stay as bland as possible. Use the jab, use the straight right, and use it and stay on the back foot. And let his stamina, you know, let Canelo exert all the energy coming forward and use all his energy pushing forward and trying to, you know, make the fight, opposed to, you know, him engaging. Don't engage. You know, once Canelo get close, tie him up. Use the Floyd Mayweather effect. You know, when fighters used to get close to Floyd Mayweather, he grab you, hold on for dear life, hug you, give you some love, let the referee break you up. Once the referee break you, then y'all get back to business. But aside from that, you know, he forced you, you know, fight his fight, and that's what Sergey Kovalev have to do. But unfortunately, I just don't think his stamina and his ring IQ is going to allow him to do that. As soon as Canelo start landing something big in the inside, he gonna want to trade with him. He gonna leave himself open, and I think that Canelo is going to capitalize. I don't even see this fight going past 6-7 rounds. I don't see it going past 6-7 rounds at all whatsoever. I just don't think that Kovalev had the ring IQ, and he definitely don't have the stamina. And he's too thankful to be in this position. So it's like he's starstruck. I can't understand that. We all do the same thing. We trade leather and trade sweat, for our livelihood, and you starstruck. I saw fighters was the same way with Floyd Mayweather. It's just ridiculous in my point. But what y'all think about before our special guests come on? What y'all think about the Wilder Ortiz fight? Me personally, I think that before we get to that, somebody asked if Shakur Stevenson is ready for Gary Russell. That's a very, very tricky fight, man. Gary Russell is a very, very seasoned, very, very high ring IQ. He's very fast. He's very athletic. That's a difficult fight. I don't know if I would put my young star like Shakur Stevenson in there. Now, I don't want to doubt Shakur Stevenson, but I think that he needs a more experience. Gary Russell's experience. I think that Shakur Stevenson needs more experience. He needs more time before he steps in the ring with Gary Russell. I think Gary Russell is going to put him in positions that he's not used to. I just think that's a stretch too far, in my opinion. But what you think, Ms. Boxing?
Well, I guess my question to you is, do you think if Shakur Stevenson did lose to him, would that really affect him as far as his career? Because I don't think it would be too bad, with him being so young. What do you think?
I think that it could be detrimental to Shakur Stevenson because it's the way Gary Russell could beat him. He could beat him mentally. It's different if you get knocked out or something of that nature. But Gary Russell could frustrate him mentally and mentally mess with his mind and have him second guessing himself for the rest of his career. So that's why I feel like it's a step too far, in my opinion, right now, because you saw how he reacted in the Olympics when he lost. That was like dramatic for him. And that was a fight I thought he won. I thought he should have got the gold medal, but it visibly he wears emotions on his sleeve at times, and that could possibly down his confidence and could possibly have a serious effect on the rest of his career. That's where I'm getting at with him, Ms. Boxing.
Okay. Well, with saying that, this is a really, if they were to fight in 3 months, that's one I definitely can't call because, like you said, I mean, you got the season against the young one, and they're both very technically great fighters. I know it's going to be close. I don't think either one of them will get knocked out, maybe a knockdown. And I don't think I'm ready to see that yet either. I think you're right. Mentally, he's probably not ready, and it probably will affect him.
Yeah, that's my thing. I just think that I don't think he's ready. What you think, Kurt?
No way, no how, hell no. He's nearly not ready for Gary Russell Jr. 2 seasons, 2 experience. Gary Russell Jr., man, will hit him with that short right hook that nobody ever sees. Shakur just needs to stay busy. He needs to build himself, his resume, and experience is very important in the sport of boxing, man. He's not even close to being ready for Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. be licking his chops, man, because even though I see the talent with Shakur, and I wasn't on board at first, now I am, he has a ways to go. You can't give these young guys the keys to the car or the house and expect them to be an all-time great. You got to pump the brakes. He's a good young fighter, but is not proven yet. Let him fight some. Let him just keep him ready, keep him active. Let him fight different style of fighters. That's a good parameter to get a young fighter ready for the top dogs in the division. So let him fight a rough and tough fighter. Let him fight an offensive-minded fighter. Let him fight a guy that moves around the ring. And, he'll get the experience because he does have a high skill set. And then go after the Gary Russells, man. But now it'd be a detriment to his career.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think it's just, the fact that Gary Russell is so, tricky. I just think it'll have if he lose mentally, if it's the angles and different little nuances on that people do in the ring, I think it'll affect him mentally. But before we get the special guests coming on, they should be coming on shortly. But you know, let me get y'all thoughts on the Deontay Wilder, because this is a month we got Wilder. We got obviously Saturday we got Canelo and Sergey, and then in a couple weeks we got Wilder and Ortiz rematch. Just being in Deontay Wilder's camp, just being around him, I feel like he's understanding of what his short. Even though he won the fight, this is why I think that the fight is going to be easier, because he won the fight, and even though he won the fight, it's like he's paying very, very close attention to the little details of the shortcomings he had with the battle within the war. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I think that that played a major part. You know, in you know him not, he didn't like how he won. Even though he won, he didn't like how he won, and so I think that you know I think that he paying very, very close attention to the little details and his shortcomings in the fight. I think that you know he figures that you know he wants to win in a more convincing fashion than the last time. You know, although he dropped him multiple times and he stopped him, you know, knocked him out, but he wants it to be, he wants to obliterate Luis Ortiz, but he wants to do it in a clean fashion like he did Dominic Brazil. He don't want it to be he don't want it to be, you know, a close fight. You know, he wants it to be a domination. You know, he wants separation, you know. And because he's paying attention to the little details, to me, in my opinion, I think that that's going to prove to be the difference in this fight. I think that he's going to set Ortiz up for something. He knows what to expect. And while I was in camp, too, he kept saying, I know what you like to do. I paid attention. I studied you now. That's what he kept saying the whole time while he was shadow boxing, while he was hitting the heavy bag, you know, while he was doing the mitts. You know, there's some footage that I still have that I didn't put up, but while he was hitting the mitts, you know, just while he was getting taped up, you know, it was like, I know what you like to do. I know you like to step this way. I know you like to step that way. I know you like to throw this punch. I know you're trying to set me up. But he was talking to himself. He wasn't talking to me. He wasn't talking to the trainers. He wasn't talking to his team. He was talking to himself. He just kept saying to himself, I know you want to, you could tell when somebody is, he's just, so this fight. And I know people said, why is he fighting him again? Evander Holyfield said it's dangerous, too dangerous, and there's other people who say, oh, he already knocked him out. He wanted, but that just goes to show that he himself, he wants to prove to himself that he could obliterate Luis Ortiz, and he don't want it to be close. He don't like the fact that seventh round, he said that the seventh round, he allowed himself to get into to get hurt. He tried to put Ortiz into a trap, and Ortiz wasn't going for it. He was too smart for it, and then he thought he was ready to go, and he made too many mistakes in the seventh round. So he said that he keeps continuously while he's shadow boxing. He's like, man, I know you want to. Oh, you want to come right here, don't you? You want to step right here, don't you? Oh, you want to hit me with that punch? Like, he's been truly studying Ortiz, and for that, I think that, it doesn't matter what Ortiz brings to the table this time. I think that Wilder is going to knock him out even earlier. What you think, Ms. Boxing?
I agree. I don't see this fight going past 4 or 5 rounds. I think Wilder does have something to prove to himself. In his last fight with Ortiz before the knockout, I did have Ortiz winning that fight. Same thing with Fury. So right now he has 2 very close fights on his record that, I mean, he wants redemption, even though he did not lose either one of those fights. I think he has proved something he wants to prove something to himself, and maybe even the fans too. But yeah, I see maybe the first round him feeling him out, figuring out how he wants to set him up, and I say by the third or fourth round, I think Ortiz is going to be out of there.
Yeah, I think so too. What you think, Kurt?
I would say 6, 7 rounds. I think Wilder would be more patient. He would get him out of there early if he puts another punch together, like the left hook to the body that can set up and hide the right hand like he did against Brazil. Wilder has a lot of upside, but this is a dangerous fight. You know, if Ortiz comes to fight harder and better, you know, we can be in for another barn burner. You know, Wilder seems to know what his mistake was, and you know, it's still a very intriguing fight. We can't underestimate Ortiz. Wilder has to go in there 100% focused. If that happens, I don't see him losing. I see Wilder getting him out of there. I'm going to say 7 or 8.
Yeah. I got some news. So our special guest is gonna come on tomorrow because she's actually in camp. It's fight week for her, and she's in camp. And her schedule got pushed a little too far back, so I'm actually talking to her right now. So she's gonna come on tomorrow. You know, so she apologized, but she's gonna reschedule. She's in a well, she's in camp. That's what I could say. So, you know, tomorrow she said she'll be on. So we apologize to you guys, to the fans and everybody out there, but she will be on tomorrow. So she just ran into a little situation that I can't say right now on the air, but, you know, she'll be on tomorrow. So, you know, Miss Boxing will be on tomorrow, right, Miss Boxing?
I surely will.
Yep. And Kurt obviously will be on tomorrow. So, you know, so she'll be on tomorrow, and we'll have her on tomorrow, Alycia Baumgardner. And she'll talk, you know, break down what she got going on, and it's fight week for her. So, hey, listen, we understand that. I just told her we understand that she got things to do. It's fight week, so for her. So, you know, that's important for her. But so then we'll start taking calls and stuff like that. You guys could call in. But yeah, so you know, I think that me personally, I think that it's going to end a little earlier than what Kurt think that it's going to end, you know, in the the 7th round, 6th, 7th round. I just think it's going to end a little earlier because I think that I didn't like how Ortiz looked in his last couple of fights. I think there was something taken out of him by Wilder in that fight, and Father Time. I'm not going to say that he's 50,000 years old like everybody else say. But you know, he's definitely Father Time is against him. You know, time is not on his side. So we got callers calling in already, man. So
That's what's up.
Yep. So we gonna let me connect that so we'll get them on in a second. But you know, so yeah, so she's gonna be on tomorrow. You know, she has some stuff to do. Right now she's in camp. And so Alycia Baumgardner will be on tomorrow. So, you know, congratulations to her for her fight week coming up. Well wishes to her, and she'll be on tomorrow. But we'll be on tomorrow, so we'll just continue on TBC. So we'll take some calls. But go ahead, Kurt, you could cook. Let me set this up for you.
Oh, yeah, I just want to let everybody know there's a great boxing series that's on Netflix. It's about the great Carlos Monzon. He was the lineal middleweight champion for 7 years. Great fighter. It's called Carlos Monzon Knockout Blow. It's a 13-part series that's on Netflix that focuses on him killing his wife because, you know, he did 11 years in prison, and he died in a car crash in 1995, and focuses on his boxing career. So, you know, I know you're going to enjoy it, and it's a great series, man. I'm addicted, man. That's what I was watching all day. I can't stop watching it. So it's called Carlos Monzon Knockout Blow. And another thing I want to remind chat about, don't forget about the Noya Nui and Nonito Donaire fight that's coming up in November. I want to see if Donaire, with the experience in his counter left hook, how Hanoi is going to counter that, because, you know, they got him high on pound for pound ranking. So, you know, I want to see if the monster can overtake Donaire. We got so many fights coming up, you know, Wilder and Ortiz. You got Brian Castano versus the African fighter. I think his name is Wale Amatoso, Saturday on Fox Sports 1. You know, it's you know, you got Charlo and Hogan the 7th, along with Ruiz and Joshua, and you got Charlo versus Harrison the 23rd.
Yeah. So we got a call. Let's take this call. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Columbus, Ohio.
Salute to Ohio, man.
Marcus, Ohio runs boxing.
Ohio run boxing in the building. What's shaking with you, King?
What's up, man? I hate that I couldn't hear my girl tonight. Alycia, you know, she up in Ohio. You already know. You know, we deep down here, baby.
Yeah,
for sure. We do it.
For sure. Yeah, she's in camp right now, so you know she ran into a little situation, but you know she definitely I'm in contact with her right now, so that's why I'm a little bit distracted, but she'll definitely be on.
Okay. Well, man, this was a great little fight weekend, man. Definitely my Ohio boys represented this week. Jared Anderson on top rank, heavyweight. He debuted. He got the KO. Alpha Bell put on a boxing clinic. He did what he was supposed to do. I agree with y'all guys about Robert Easter. Like, I see these guys now. Well, I call it like I see it. He gives up his height, but Paul Williams used to do the same thing. You know, Paul will give up his reach and his advantage and be fighting on the inside. I think Robert does that. He just his dad gives him perfect instructions, and sometimes he just go away from it, man. I listen to him. You know, I listen to Easter Senior when he's giving him some great instructions, and he just get away from it. But can you imagine if he just stuck to the game plan and just stayed on the outside, you know, and kick his shots? Oh my God, you know. And you would see flashes of that with Robert when he was in the ring doing that. But yeah, that was a good fight. Adrian Granado, you know, he gave a lot of my Ohio boys a run for their money. He didn't give them all good fights, man. So that's definitely respect to Adrian Granado. That boy a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
He's a true warrior. He's a true warrior. The Canelo and Kovalev, come on, Blue Blood. You know it's so funny, man. Everybody keeps saying Kovalev ain't been the same since war. You know, a lot of people keep forgetting Darnell Boone knocked this man down 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't on television.
Mm-hmm.
Youngstown, Ohio, okay?
And you know they removed that footage, right? Because it was on YouTube at one point.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was I guess it was from somebody personal. It wasn't no real.
Yeah,
real
it wasn't it wasn't a big card, but it was somebody that had recorded it and they had it up on YouTube, right?
Absolutely. The same thing with Adonis Stevenson. Darnell Boone gave him his first loss, and now that was removed. So
he dropped Andre Ward too.
Absolutely. So Boone got punching power, but I think the matchmakers made a mistake with Kovalev and Boone because they seen Boone had over 16 losses. They weren't looking at his punching power. They didn't really say too much on the box rec. But I say that to say this: Boone was one of the first guys. Not only he dropped Kovalev, but he dropped him 3 times in an 8-rounder. Okay, and in an 8-rounder, and they still gave Kovalev the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we knew what it was because Kovalev gave him a rematch.
Right.
Darnell Boone get rematches, and then all of a sudden they want to put it on television.
Right.
If you notice, all Darnell Boone rematches is on television where they make him go up in weight. We talked about this. They give him a disadvantage in the weight, and all of a sudden he's gonna televise it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's crazy, but I think a lot of people need to give my boy Boone a little bit of credit with Kovalev because they started matching Kovalev a little easier as he started going in the rankings. You know what I mean? They wouldn't give him no more power punchers. You know, they gave him, he was the power puncher, and he started to, you know, dash out and start to get his recognition. But Boone was one of the first guys who put, you know, Kovalev down, man.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people forget about that. I just wanted to make that note. But I didn't want to be too long, man. Another fight, Josh Greer. I didn't hear y'all talk about Greer. I don't know if y'all big on Greer.
You know what? I forgot about that fight because I missed that fight. I missed that entire card. So I because I was I was at the fight, so I missed that fight, and I forgot about that fight. And
it was a good fight, man. He actually fought my dude Antonio Nieves from out of Cleveland, Ohio. A lot of people don't know who he is. He's a full-time father, man. But he works he works at a bank. And this is another opportunity from his only he had another loss that was pretty much a robbery, and then he had a loss before that against the Japanese guy, the Japan pound fighter, and do it. I can't say his name.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? From the Japan fighter.
Nowhere?
Fighter.
Nowhere?
Yeah. He lost. Yeah. He lost to Neway on HBO.
Okay.
Last time it went. Yeah. He lost, and Neway stopped him probably like in the 6th round. It was the first time, so it was really impressive for Neway. But I thought Joshua Greer lost, man. I had him down 6 rounds to 2. Matter of fact, it was 4-2 after 6. You know, and I had him down, and a lot of punches wasn't landing. He was quicker than Antonio, but Antonio was able to time him and hit him. Antonio slowed down towards the end, and he also got a knockdown in that fight, Blue Blood, that they called that I didn't even think was a knockdown. So Antonio not only I had him up on the card, but he actually got a knockdown. And they still scored it for Greer. So this was the second fight where a lot of people felt, and I was actually doing the live on Facebook too, they actually felt he lost. This was the second fight where they felt like he got away with another one. So
yeah, I thought Greer lost his last fight. Did you guys see the Kurt MZ.BOXING? Did you guys see that the Greer fight?
I saw it. I thought he edged the fight. But if you would have said whoever's one had no problem, it was really, really close, man. Greer has a low ring IQ. He gets hit with right hands all day, all night. You know, he just want to slug. You know, he doesn't concentrate on boxing, setting the punches up. He just goes in there and, you know, start throwing punches, man, coming straight in. He won't get his head off the line. His defense should be a lot better. You know, I don't like his corner, so... You know, Greer was putting people to sleep, but the right fighter gonna put him to sleep, man. He has to get better in a hurry because the last couple of fights, man, you know, I thought he lost his last fight in North, and I thought he barely beat Nuevez, man. But he has to get his act together quick.
What you think,
before I get off?
Hold on, Ohio. Let me get MZ.BOXING take on that. Did you see it,
MZ.BOXING?
Okay, my bad. No problem.
Yes, I did see it. I had him losing the fight as well, and I also had him losing his last fight. His defense is horrible, and I agree with Kurt. Someone's going to knock this boy out. I mean, this kid out soon. I mean, as he gets up there in competition, he definitely shouldn't. I mean, it was very, very close, but one of the judges, I think, gave him 7 rounds or something like that. I completely disagree. But yeah, he needs to take a good look at his camp and what's going on. I think maybe he got too comfortable in the beginning and, you know, getting all this, you know, signing the contract, getting all this publicity and his little night pillow thing going on. And I think it kind of went to his head a little bit. He needs to sit back and try to figure out what the heck is going on, because I really do feel like he lost both of those fights.
Yeah, I thought he lost his last fight too. But go ahead, my brother Ohio.
No, this is the only question I want before I get off, man. Was the crowd really that small in PA, Blue Blood? It looked like it was only 100 people, my friend. What is going on? Yeah,
man, it was definitely a small turnout, man. I don't know if the arena itself was small, you know, I don't know if it was just it wasn't, you know, promoted a lot, you know. I can't even really defend it. It was definitely a small crowd, man. It was definitely, you know, anemic, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I'll say that because I question, you know, them not having, you know, Robert Easter was on the card. They usually try to have it in Ohio, somewhere closer. So I was just confused on that because at the, you know, Terrell Boucher was supposed to be on that card before he hurt his hand out of Cleveland, Ohio. He was supposed to fight Ruben, and I liked that fight for Terrell. That would have been a really good fight. Terrell's an Olympian. He beat Austin Trout this year, and they called that a draw, which I disagree. He beat Austin Trout. And I thought this would have been a good fight for him and Lubin. Lubin definitely wanted to fight Terrell Boucher. So that I'm hopefully that's a good fight. And for some of y'all that don't know him, y'all follow my page. That's all y'all know. I talked that a lot of boxing, but
yeah,
Terrell is a Olympian. He's a good fighter.
Yeah, I like Terrell Boucher, man. I thought that was a big fight, man. I don't know. From my knowledge, they said that that he fought. I think it was Richard Comey. Easter fought there already. You know, so I don't know. Maybe that was the reason. I can't even tell you, man. But you know, it definitely was a very, very small crowd, man. Very, very small. The arena itself is very. But I'm gonna tell you, man. I like that type of arena for boxing. You know what I mean? Because it's good when you have 30,000 people there, 40,000 people. But when you sitting up there, up there with, and you could change the light bulbs in the stadium. Listen, listen. You can't see what's going on in the ring, man. You can't see it. You're spending your time looking at the TV over the ring. You know what I mean? You can't see. So that type of arena, you could get the full effect no matter where you sit. You could get the effect of the fight. But obviously it should be a packed house. You know what I mean? But
you know what, Blue?
Go ahead, Kurt.
We had an arena on Tuesday Night Fights. I used to be there all the time, called the Blue Horizon. It was a small, smoky arena, and they had some of the best fights there. It had a very intimate setting. So did the Madison Square Garden. The small room we used to call it. Not the big room.
Mm-hmm.
But before we go on, boxing making a mistake, and I'm gonna tell you, they should take a page out of how it used to be in the 70s, 80s. When you had a fighter who wasn't really known, but the fight sold out because you put the A fighter in his hometown. Like Marvin Johnson was a light heavyweight champion in the 80s, and Indianapolis, Indiana was a very underrated fan base for him, and they always put him there, and it sold out. Virgil Hill, he fought in Bismarck, North Dakota. That's not a boxing hotbed, but fans was out in droves. Matthew Saad Muhammad fought in Philadelphia. So you have to put the A fighter in his home country. Like Tank is fighting in Atlanta, even though he's from Baltimore. Let's see how that works out, because that's like the Black Hollywood, Black Mecca. It will be a success if it's promoted right. But you put Tank in Baltimore or Washington, and put Terrence Crawford in Omaha, Nebraska, you see it's a wild crowd in Omaha, Nebraska every time he fought there. So these promoters, if you're smart for the sport of boxing, you have to put the A fighter in his own hometown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely thought that this was definitely a card, especially if Robert Easter. Well, it was Lubin was the headline, Lubin and Terrell Boucher, and then Gallimore filled in. But where's Lubin from? He's not from Pennsylvania.
No, he's from Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, he's from Florida. So yeah, so I listen. I don't know, man. Maybe the budget. I don't know, man. But I just. Yeah, no, it wasn't packed at all. It wasn't packed at all, man. But my brother Ohio, man, we're gonna get to the next caller, right?
Yep. All right, y'all. Love the show.
Appreciate you, King.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The setting, though. I like the setting because no matter where you sit, it was enough. It was big enough to hold maybe 15,000 people. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Talib Cunningham from Potterville, South Carolina.
Salute to Talib Cunningham, man. It's South Kakalaka, man. Yeah, I know about South Kakalaka, bro.
My man, I know about New York, too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's shaking? Same old, man. Just a squirrel in your world.
I know that's right. Yeah, man, I've been calling in to talk about Bunny, man. I don't know what's up with Robert Easter, man. Robert Easter could be a great fighter, man. I don't know why he don't fight on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I know everybody's telling him this. Everybody. So I guess that's just how he fight. So, you know, I mean, if Robert used to take a few training camps, man, and work on his jab and work on his straight right, man, work on his check left, man, Robert used to be selling out arenas.
Yeah, man.
And I believe that.
To me, it's just his ring IQ, you know. Ms. Boxing, what you think about Robert Easter?
Yeah. I think he did look really good. But if he can like I don't know, what was the caller's name again? I'm sorry.
Adrian Granados.
No, the caller. I didn't want to.
Oh, that's Talib Cunningham.
Okay. Like you said, I mean, I wish, and I don't know who was that. Oh, I don't know who said this earlier. Was that you that was talking to him in the? Did you say you were talking to him?
Yeah, I was yelling at him the entire time. I'm like, use your jab. Like, it was too many instances and too many spots he wasn't using his jab. So you can hear me if you go back and watch the fight, man. You can hear me yelling at him.
Right. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what's the problem. Does he feel like that he sees something else that the team does not see? What is the problem? Why isn't he fighting like we all know he can fight? And I'm sure he knows he can fight like that too. I mean, I agree. He could be selling out arenas. He is good. He is great, but he can be greater. So I'm trying to figure out what's the issue.
I mean, if you see Robert Easter spar, he spars like he's going to use his reach, and he does everything right when he's training, but when he gets in that ring, something just goes off, or he want to get in there and smother his punches.
He gets in the ring and he wants to fight instead of box. That's why you know, it's not an insult when we say low ring IQ. It's not you know, I know a lot of people take it when we say low ring IQ. It's like you saying they're dumb or something. Then we're not saying you're dumb. We're saying that, you know, don't allow yourself to be into a fight. Remember, it's a sport. Box. Am I right, Kurt? What you think, Kurt?
Yeah, when a fighter makes the fight harder than what it's supposed to be, it comes down to ring IQ. Boxing is 70% mental and psychological, man. When you got a guy who makes that fight harder each and every time, you know, and doesn't listen, you know, it's stubbornness, but, you know, you're not thinking in a ring, you know, and people be like, well, I want to go to war, but if you don't have the skills to go to war, like Sugar Ray Robinson, well, you know, he wanted to go to war, but he had the skills. And Robert Easter, believe me, is no Sugar Ray Robinson, you know, and he could have made the fight easier for himself, but he had one punch knockout power. You know, but Easter doesn't have that. You know, he doesn't have that. So, you know, all he has to do is box and use his jab, but he can't do it. You know, he can't think in the ring. He could have been competitive and beat Mikey Garcia. He could have beat Granados, knocked him out if he would have put his combination together and not smothered his own work. But that's because he doesn't think. He doesn't want to think. So it's stubbornness and having a low ring IQ.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You know, when we say low ring IQ, we're not saying that you're dumb. It's just saying that you allow yourself to get into a barn burner. You know, you allow yourself to get into a fight. You know, don't allow yourself. Yeah, it's a fight and your adrenaline is pumping, but control your emotions while you're in the ring. And remember, it's a sport, and you have an advantage. You have a distinct advantage. You have a reach. You have the speed advantage. You have the athletic advantage. You use your advantages to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? And it's just he gets in there, he gets hit, and it turns into a fight. No, what are you doing, man? No, what are you doing? He if you look at the fight in the beginning of the fight, he was hitting Granados cleanly, boom, 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 and getting out. Easy. Make the fight. Make it easy on yourself. Why you getting into a barn burner? He started sitting in the pocket for no reason and trading, it's ring IQ, and it's another thing that comes into play, and that goes to show the discipline outside the ring. Because in order to fight that fight and stay on the outside, it takes a lot of stamina to move around and use the ring and use your reach and use that to your advantage. Because that fighter he's desperate. He's gonna try anything and everything to close the gap. because you have the advantages. So it takes a lot of stamina. It uses a lot of energy, and I think that you see Robert Easter by the 5th round, he was tired. That's the stamina.
The toughest fighter is the smartest fighter. That's what Robert Easter got to learn.
That's right.
Right.
Hey, I want to ask you one more thing, Blue.
Go ahead.
What you think about the Rougarou, man? I mean, what you think about that fight?
I thought that he showed that he's limited.
Yeah.
No, baby. I thought he showed that he was limited. I thought he showed that he was exposed. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, how could he be exposed? It was a great fight. Yeah, it was an entertaining fight.
No, he was exposed.
Yeah, he was exposed. And it was, to me, it was the Rougarou's footwork, right? He showed his feet, and he didn't have smart feet, and he didn't have quick feet. He's athletic, but he didn't have quick feet. He didn't have smart feet, and his feet was the problem because he could not get out of the way of Josh Taylor punches. And once Josh Taylor recognized, yeah, this dude got a lot of power, but I could trade with him on the inside. I could take his punches in close range far better than I could take him at a distance. And I could hit him and I could counter him after I take his shots. And I think that that came into play. What you think, Ms. Boxing?
Yeah, I agree. It was the opposite of what I thought was going to happen. I was so shocked because I really thought he was going to, like you said, his footwork was off. He was off balance. It was like he didn't know what to do. He couldn't adapt. And Josh Taylor just forced it to be his fight, and Regis couldn't do anything about it. And it's a shame because I knew it was going to be close, but I don't know what happens to Regis after this. He really, really needed this win, and I think a loss for him is worse than a loss for Josh Taylor at this point. And like I said, it's really unfortunate. So we'll see what's going to happen, but he just couldn't get it together. And I think Blood had said it. I think that he was nervous. He really was nervous. I think Josh Taylor put a little fear in him because that's not the Josh we were used to seeing. I mean, I think the pre-fight stuff really did affect him, and I think he was nervous going into the fight. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with him next. But I don't know where does he go from here.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I think that he was frustrated. He made no adjustments, like Mike Hennigan said in the chat. He said he made no adjustment. He made no adjustments, and that's why I say he was exposed. Yeah, his ring IQ and his athletic ability. Yeah, he athletic. He got power, but his power deceived him. It didn't show up for him. And so when his power didn't show up, he had no game. He had no plan B. Like Deontay told me. Like Deontay told me, I ain't got no plan B, so she pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And he had no plan B, so she pregnant. You know what I mean? He gonna get that prize. Go ahead, bro.
I think that brother. I was looking at him from like round 1 to maybe like round 5. I honestly think that he overtrained. And I don't know if a lot of fighters know about overtraining. Sometimes that's the worst thing for your body when you constantly. Because I've seen like the videos of him training and everything, and I saw like he doing it like literally the whole day. I don't think he gave his body time to recover. And you in the biggest fight of your life, you should be going in there comfortable. I saw him looking at his face and he got me. I'm like, you don't look right.
Right.
Sometimes like the moment get too big for you when it shouldn't, because this is what you do. You do this every day. But the thing about it was, Rougarou came in there, he was flat-footed. He don't even fight like that. He just tried to bang it out with Josh Taylor in his hometown. That's not the fight I know that couldn't have been the game plan. That couldn't have been.
Yeah.
You supposed to outbox Josh Taylor. You supposed to outwork him. You supposed to be backing him up. Whole fight, the man backed you up. Whole fight.
But that's what I'm saying. Josh Taylor exposed him because he had no plan B. So he looked gassed by round 5. By round 4, he started looking tired. He was throwing all those them body punches, but the part about it is Josh Taylor body was, you see his whole right side of his ribs and everything was bright red. So it was having an effect, and I kept saying during the fight, it's going to pay off in the long run. And boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. It paid off the opposite way. It paid off against Regis. It's like he faded. You know, he threw so many heavy punches, he started to fade, you know. So, you know, I think Regis got exposed. And I think that I said this earlier. I think anybody with good footwork and a jab is going to beat Regis Prograis. What you think, Kurt?
Prograis is a good fighter, but he's limited. You can see it. You know, Taylor had a lot to do with that, man. People don't realize how hard it is to go to a foreign country and beat an elite fighter. That just goes to show you the levels in boxing. Errol Spence did it. Terrence Crawford did it. Regis Prograis didn't do it because, you know, at the end of the day, skill set will always show where you belong. It's like a pecking order. You know, Crawford's a great fighter, Spence, but Prograis is a good limited fighter. And when his power deceives him, there's no plan B because he's not that kind of boxer where, you know, you can always fall on your boxing ability to get you out of trouble. And we can make excuses, but he just wasn't good enough.
Exactly. And Miss Boxing picked she picked Josh Taylor to win this fight. So, you know, why did you pick Josh Taylor to win this fight? You think that Regis was overrated or just Josh Taylor's abilities?
I think in this one, it definitely was one of those style mixed fights type of thing. But I think that Taylor is definitely a better technical fighter, and I didn't think Regis had enough power to counter that. So that's why I figured it was going to be I said it was going to be a unanimous decision for Josh Taylor.
Yeah, she picked him. So, you know, I just, you know, man, and remember they was building up Regis to face Terrence Crawford. What a mistake that would have been. He would have got knocked out.
Oh yeah, he would have got knocked out, definitely.
Yeah, he would have got stoned.
That was the fight. Crawford would have stopped him. And I mean, I actually picked Josh Taylor by robbery. That's how I literally saw like the little press conference, and I was like, man, it seemed like Josh kind of punking my man. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. I'm like, come on, Rule 504, come on, put it up. You know what I'm saying? And he was kind of. It seemed like, and then the guy was talking about he put him in a headlock when he was at a fight. So I mean, so I mean, he already trying you up. He already figured, oh, you a lose, we're gonna slap you around. And then I was thinking like, okay, he was going there with the long attitude because I've never seen Josh Taylor this animated ever. So he knew something about Regis that he knew. He was like thinking to himself, I'm gonna beat the brakes off this dude. And he came in there, he did his thing. Shouts out to Josh Taylor. That's my call, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Miss Boxing, Blue, Kurt, y'all have a good night, man.
You too, my brother.
You too.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I thought I think that Regis just got flat out exposed. I think that, you know, I think that Jose Ramirez, he could win that fight. I think that because Jose Ramirez, he could drag him into a dog fight, and maybe Ramirez may not be able to take his power. You know, Ramirez was, remember, Maurice Hooker was stunning him a couple of times, so he may not be able to take his power, you know, but, you know, and that's a dog fight. But if he fight, I think Maurice Hooker, if he was stay disciplined with his boxing ability, would beat Regis as well. And if Robert Easter would stay disciplined, he could beat Regis Prograis, but he just can't. He gonna get into a dog fight, and we know how that's gonna turn out. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey man, one time for your mind. Hey Blue, I'm gonna get on you in a minute. I'm gonna shout out. I'm gonna get you in a minute, Blue. Me and you got issues. I'm gonna deal with you in a minute. Salute to my sister, the Lioness, Miss Boxing, Kurt Sugar, aka Kareem, aka the Historian. It's your boy Top King of Law, Brownsville's finest. What's good? What's good, Blue? What's up, man? Talk to me, man. What's happening?
Ain't nothing, man. Just a squirrel in your world.
Hey, listen. Hey, Blue. I wanted to break something down real quick. What's my man? Paul Williams. All right, Robert Easton. It's similar, but Paul Williams, he just threw more punches and used his range. But he always, you know, he never seen the, you know, we always say this He never seen a punch he didn't like. But he always would shrink himself down like my man that he does. He shrinks his stick. The 12 fighters shrink themselves down and become small fighters when they don't have to. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Easter does every time. And I watched that fight. I seen y'all and everything, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, that's what the family Blue represent and everything. I heard everything going on. Don't sit there like, Blue, let him know. Stand tall. Use that jab. Like you lengthy. And then what did he do, Blue? By like the third or fourth round? He shrunk himself. And I was sitting there like,
I was screaming. I'm like, fight tall, use your jab, man. Use your jab. It was so easy. Man, it was so, it was so easy, man. You could hear Granados. We could hear Granados going, He kept every time, and like again, I'm gonna tell y'all can't hear it on TV, but every time Robert hit him, he was grunting. So I'm like, yo, just all you got to do is stay. He wants to close the distance so you can take the power of your punches because you're so long. And so I'm yelling like, just you can knock him out. You can finish him. He made it a dog fight. And then that's what separates the greats from the goods and the elites and the special ones. Tommy Hearns, every time he would get into a dog fight with Marvin Hagler and things of that nature, but he split Marvin Hagler open at a distance, you know.
Exactly. It wasn't up close. It was from using that long jab and that overhand right, keeping him at bay. Another thing is, I feel like guys, they're too proud. And what I mean by that is Floyd Mayweather. Everybody wants to follow Floyd Mayweather blueprint of living a lifestyle, but follow the blueprint. How he got to live in that lifestyle. He used a certain style in the ring, right? You get too close to him, he gonna give you all types of love, like y'all just came out from a date, man. He dancing with you hugging and smooching with you, right? That's right.
You get too close, I'm tying you up, and we gonna hug like we just came off a date. And Robert Easter, as soon as Granados closed the distance, right, hug him. We complained about Vladimir Klitschko and Lennox Lewis doing it, but guess what? They had success when they did it. Don't let the short dude. He has advantage on the inside because his punches don't have to travel as far as yours. So tie him up. What you think, Ms. Boxing?
Yeah, I agree. And it was for him not to fight like that or not to fight tall against Mikey Garcia. That was like such a big disappointment. And I'm thinking like, if he would have done that, if he would have beat Mikey Garcia, where would things be at right now? Because he could have beat him. He could have beat him easy. I mean, like you said, it was so easy. You could see it. We could see it. I'm like, how can he not see this? But I don't know. How do you discipline him? How do you get him to that point? I don't know. And I don't know if he's ever going to listen. Because like you said, it was like every time he got hit, it was like, I don't know if he doesn't understand the scoring or he felt like he had to hit him back the same way in order to even up the score. Like he was behind or something. He had to do something to impress the judges to win that round. But all he had to do was keep that distance and keep popping him. That's all he had to do. I think he could have knocked him out if he really wanted to.
I agree with you. What you think, Kurt?
Yeah, you know, when you have fighters like Larry Holmes and Tommy Hearns, they were smart because they used their jab, man. They knew what kind of jab they had, and they used it to their advantage. You know, I done seen Holmes knocking people out with his jab alone. You know, Tommy Hearns knocked Sugar Ray Leonard into a retirement, and Robert Easter should be doing the same thing. I know it's in him because he tried to do that against Garcia. He came out jabbing, trying to fight behind the jab, but another 2 rounds, you know, it was just he abandoned everything. And that goes to show me that not only he doesn't have the intelligence, but, you know, he's a weak-minded fighter. Usually fighters like that are weak-minded. They can't, you could tell them for 2 months in training camp, fight this way. And they will do it for round 1 and 2 and then abandon a whole game plan. That's a sign of a weak fighter. And there's many fighters like that. And unfortunately for me, Robert Easter is one of them.
Yeah, and it's the IQ. Hey, Kurt, what you think about what I said about these dudes being too proud to just learn how to tie up like Floyd Mayweather did? Like Kell Brook did that with Sean Porter. We could say it was excessive. We could say it was over, you know, overdone. It was too well done with Sean Porter and Kell Brook. But guess what? Kell Brook got the belt.
Well, Blue, I want to say this, man. A lot of people don't understand. Clinching is a defensive maneuver or a defensive technique that you use when you fight an aggressive fighter. When you look at Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard clinched like 30 times because Marvin liked to come forward. Mike Tyson and Vander Holyfield, the first fight, Vander Holyfield would tie Mike up, you know, because Mike Tyson liked to come forward. Bernard Hopkins from Trinidad, same thing. Margarito and Mosley. Mosley tied him up. And then Cotto, when they fought a rematch with Margarito, copied Mosley's game plan. And so every time Margarito came forward, he tied him up because you know what that does to an aggressive fighter? He has to restart his rhythm. His rhythm is broken, so he has to restart his attacking again. And you do this for, and they're gonna have to reset. So that's what Bernard did when Trinidad got close. That's what you do to an aggressive fighter. You hold them, you clinch them. You know, Ali did it to George Foreman. You know,
right?
And he has to restart again.
Right. And he was spending a lot of energy when you do that also. And see, they wasn't paying attention, like you said, because they wasn't paying attention to the old tapes. You know what I'm saying? If these dudes, these taller fighters would have paid attention to the Hearns, like the Alis and things of that nature, you know, I think they would have more knockouts and more wins and won't gas out as much if they paid attention to the tapes and really studied and became, you know, a student of the game, what you want to call it. See, these guys right now, like you said, they're trying to follow behind Floyd, but not doing what Floyd did, Blue. I agree with you 100% on that one, man. And, you know, and it is what it is. But also, listen, Blue, Mikey sent you a IG because we moving out of New York on
man.
Yeah, New York is killing my pockets, man. So I got to, you know, I'm in Philly. I work in Philly, so I just said we might just move out here. So I'm down here 5 days a week, so we got a house in Philly. So he shot you my number, my phone number, and your IG. Check your IG.
Okay.
So anytime you come to Philly, man, you know, hey man, the door's open. We're gonna link up anyway real soon.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna come out there, and I'm gonna spend probably a couple of days, maybe about 2 or 3 days out there. I'm gonna cover Danny Garcia when he get in the camp. So we definitely gonna link up.
No doubt, no doubt. Miss Boxing, salute to you, Queen. It's always a pleasure. Kurt Sugar, you already knew. Hey, yo, Blue, Kurt, we're not going to deal with this San Fran all year either, man.
Yeah, it's not.
I just want to throw that, Kurt. I'm not dealing with it all there. Kurt, you can deal with it. I'm not dealing with it.
Yo, you see 51-13. You see what it is. Y'all know what it is. It's Super Bowl, man.
Hey, Kurt. I say, Kurt.
You know, as the season go along, man. My boys play tonight, but hey, he's like the cat that swallowed the canary, man.
Yeah. Y'all know what it is, man.
It's killing us right now.
It's not an empire, man. Y'all know what it is, man. It's the empire, boy. Listen, I was at Applebee's, boy. They wanted to put me out yesterday, boy. I was in there like I was in my living room, man. Running around Applebee's, boy. I was running around the bar and everything. Boy. They wanted to put me out, man. You know what I'm saying? Every sack, man. Every sack, man. And I met a non-fan in there, man. And me and him was in there, man. Same thing, man. We was in there. He was in there with, he had his whole family. It was like a graduation or a wedding or something, man. Man, this dude stayed with me at the bar the entire time. His wife got mad, like, yo, listen, now she made him pay she made him pick up the tab for the entire party that was there, man. And he spent the whole time over there with me. You know what I'm saying? We was out there slapping high-fiving and chest bumping, running around the bar, man. You know what I'm saying?
Kurt, you hear this, Kurt?
You know what I'm saying, Kurt? You know?
Kurt, you hear this, Kurt?
Hey, y'all know what it is, man. The quest for 6, man. It's going down, man.
Here we go. Hey, listen,
You know what I'm
man,
saying?
shout out to the LGBT, man. Shout out to Gunto Democrat in the chat, Wolfbag, Ronald 50, all my guys. Miss Boxing, salute Queen, and I see y'all in the chat, man. One love. Hey, Blue, like I said, get that number, man, and hit me up, man. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
Doors is open, baby. We family. You already know.
Yes, sir. And I'll be out there. I'm like I said, I'm probably gonna stay out there for like 3 days. So I'm gonna stay in this camp. So you know, we definitely gonna link up.
No, for sure. Peace.
All right, okay. Peace.
Peace, okay.
Peace.
Peace. I need a new team. I might have to jump on the
Yeah,
bandwagon because
Niners,
my
you know
team
what I
ain't
mean?
doing good
Niners,
at
man.
all.
I started to wear my Niner hat today, but we was gonna have a special guest. That's the only reason I don't got it on. Because we was gonna have a special guest. You know what I mean, Miss Boxing?
Yeah, I need a team. I need a team. My team ain't doing too good.
You there? Think something wrong with her mic or something. Yeah, she fell out. Yeah, Kurt, man. You know, so man, we had an excellent week. You know, Focus Ball, salute. What's good with you? Marvinette, salute. Well, Stefano Martinez, salute in the super chat, man. Appreciate you, King. Super Mac time in the building. We're gonna wait for Miss Boxing to jump back in. The LJ Fighter, what's good?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I was saying, I need a new team because my team ain't doing the damn thing. So I'm looking for a bandwagon to jump on.
Niners. We got room. We only got 2 weeks worth of room, so you might as well go ahead and jump on right now because we only got 2 weeks.
Well, I'm originally from Atlanta, so Falcons ain't doing nothing. Oh,
Yeah. You know, so it's that time right now. It's that time, man. You might as well jump on. See, Curtis, Steeler fan. That's why he don't want the Niners to win because you know we get ready to surpass the Steelers. You dig what I'm saying?
Y'all be tired with us if y'all win the Super Bowl, but you know, New England, y'all match up well with New England because you're front 7.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's way too early to talk Super Bowl because I remember Pittsburgh won 15-1 one year and lost in the divisional round against the Patriots at home. I was pissed, man. So let's see what happens. But y'all looking good. Your front 7 is one of the best in football. So let's just see what happens, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for the playoffs.
You remember the run the Falcons went on and they went to the Super Bowl, but they just didn't close the show? And that was Kyle Shanahan. We just gonna close the show this year. And,
oh my goodness!
And
bring back old stuff.
I know you ain't want to hear that. I know you ain't want to hear that, but you know, we got the truth is the truth. You know, so we gonna close the show. We're gonna finish what the Falcons didn't do. But the reason I said we're gonna pass the Steelers is because this is a 2-year thing at the very least. You know what I mean, Kurt? So we're gonna do it this year, and we're gonna be even better next year. You know what I mean? So we a year ahead of schedule right now.
You know, the NFL, everything changes on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
And you can lose 5 games in a row with a blink of an eye. So y'all doing really good, you know, ahead of schedule. I see what you guys was doing. So I say the 49ers is coming. I said that in the last year, you know, getting up to a quick 7-0 start. You know, I didn't see that coming. But let's see the second half of the season what happens, and you know we'll take it from there. But I don't want New England winning. I don't want San Fran winning.
Salute, brother, my brother Bish in the building. What's good, Bish? B Megastar. Super Mac Town said, "I can't wait till they play us, the Seahawks." Man, what you mean us, man? You listen, don't come in this chat talking that Cowboy Seahawk nonsense, man. Barton South D-Town over there talking about my Cowboy. No. We ain't talking Cowboys and Seahawks. Ain't nothing that ain't welcome here. You're not welcome here. Like dude said on Bad Boys. The devil is not welcome here. You ain't welcome here. You know what I'm saying? Don't come here with that nonsense, man. Don't come here with it. And listen, so I want to talk about this real quick before we close out. The Joshua Ruiz, man. What y'all think about Joshua Ruiz? I you know, the weight loss, the reports are coming out now. People in his team are saying he lost 30 pounds. I'm like, 30 pounds? I didn't make a video about that yet. I was going to put that out later on tonight. But, yeah, they saying he lost 30 pounds, man. 30 pounds is a lot of pounds, man. That might backfire on him. What you think, Miss Boxing?
Yeah, I didn't hear that. 30 pounds. That is that's a lot of weight. I'm like one of those people where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I don't think he really needed to lose all that weight. I don't know what he's expecting of Joshua. I know they said Joshua was trying to slim down, but I originally had Ruiz winning again, but I think I'm gonna have to relook that because if Ruiz is losing weight like that, then you gotta say, I mean, he's probably losing fat and muscle and power. He might be a little faster, but he was already pretty fast to me. Um, I guess I just have to look at this one because and it's coming it's gonna be coming up soon and um, I don't know, but I was leaning toward Ruiz, so oh I might have to pick Joshua on this one.
Yeah, I don't like that. 30 pounds. That's a lot. What you think, Kurt?
That's way too much weight to lose, man. You're a heavyweight. It's not like you're melting down and you're a middleweight or a welterweight. You know, because just like Miss and Power, man, the fight being, you know, and Saudi Arabia, you lose, things starting to look like they going against them, man. So sometimes when there's a big fight, the pressure gets to a fighter doing little things, man, that mess themselves up, man. You know, thinking they're gonna be better when it becomes a detriment. But he has a body type that he can fight with weight. Buster Douglas and you know James the Axe Broad, you know, fighters that was overweight but still had fast hands, man. You know, Greg Page, he could have lost a little weight, but 30 pounds, he gonna look like Andrew Galata and Riddick Bowe. So remember in the rematch, you know, Bowe, we thought he was in shape, and every time it becomes a neurological thing. Every time he hit Bowe, it was like a delayed reaction. Then he would fall to the canvas. It was crazy. So don't forget, you know, that fight and the way Ruiz is going about things. I just don't like the 30-pound weight issues. He might as well start handing Joshua the belt. I mean, Joshua lost weight too, but he's tall. Ruiz ain't tall, so it's a big difference, man. You know, let's just see what happens, man. Where his mind is at. Yeah, it's a very intriguing fight, man. You know, I don't know who to call. I'll give you my predictions, you know, in December, but I just don't like the way things is going in the Ruiz camp, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. I don't like that, man. 30 pounds. I hope that's not true. I hope they exaggerated, man. Maybe it's 15 pounds and they just exaggerated a number and just said, hey, he lost 30 pounds. Dundada, salute. I missed in there. B&B Boxing, salute. Boxing and Barbecue, salute. Corey Yellerman Jackson, salute. David Scott III, Woolbag, salute, salute. Salute to my people. CB Sports TV, brother Carl Burrell, what's good? Lou Hayton, what's good? Yeah, I just think 88 Sports Talk, salute. You know, I just think that that's just far too much weight to lose, man. You know, it's not necessary in my opinion. For what? You know, you had success. Like Mike Tyson said, if it's not broke, why are you fixing it? For what? Man, salute. Tony Dior, salute. It's not broke. Why are you fixing it? You know, you got fast hands. You know, you had the power. We see Anthony Joshua making adjustments, but like you said, Kurt, you know, Andy Ruiz is able to carry that weight. It's no need for Jeff the producer, salute. DeAndre Carey, salute. It's no need for, you know, Andy Ruiz to be making all these adjustments. I understand Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua have stamina issues, so I can understand. I can understand him making, you know, these adjustments to physical adjustments. And Andy Ruiz came out. You came out of a fight just a couple, maybe 6 weeks prior to that. He had a fight 6 weeks prior to that, or something like that. So you know, that was your best weight. You know, you was able to deal with his power. You know, losing all that weight and getting hit with his power and being able to absorb that power. See, they thinking more on the lines of offense more so than defense. You know, but they can't dismiss the fact that he got caught and he got dropped. You know, so that's a possibility. Anthony Joshua is one of the upper echelon of the heavyweight division. So listen, that's going to play a part. You understand? So why are we doing this? It's not, it's too much going on in Andy Ruiz camp, in my opinion, man. I just think that it's not necessary for him to lose, and especially 30 pounds. Listen, I don't know if your brain is going to be able to, and it's how you lose the 30 pounds. Because if he's dehydrating himself to lose the 30 pounds, that means he's losing water around the brain. And so that means that he get hit by Joshua punches, he's not going to be able to absorb it. So, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it seems like the reports that's coming out of Ruiz camp is that he's more focused on losing weight than actual strategy. And they're more focused on offense than defense. But they're dismissing the fact that they got caught. And we understand. I think that the blueprint to beat Joshua is to go forward, to pressure him. But you still got to be able to absorb what he's giving back, because when we can say what we want about Anthony Joshua, but when he get in the heat of the moment, he ain't shy about letting his hands go. We saw that with Klitschko. What you think, Ms. Boxing?
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, especially dealing with just heavyweights, period. It just takes one punch. I mean, even when Deontay Wilder was bagging up Brazil, he got caught. I mean, it's so easy for these heavyweights to throw something out there, connect and hurt you. So I'm hoping that it's not true, and a lot of people are saying that it doesn't really look like he lost it or not, lost that much weight. I'm not sure, but I think it's definitely not the right answer for him. And he was doing fine the way he was. And like you said, as far as being able to absorb those shots to the head, definitely when you're losing water weight like that, it definitely thins that layer of between the brain and the skull. So I'm a little confused about why they would feel the need to do this for him to lose weight. I didn't hear them say that he had any other issues in that fight. I don't think he had any stamina issues or anything like that I can remember. But I just think it's the wrong answer. As far as Joshua, maybe he did need to lose a little weight, get some of that muscle mass off. But then again, will his power transfer to a smaller frame body? But he didn't look too much smaller either. It looked like maybe he lost about maybe 10 pounds last time I saw him. So I don't know. Like I said, I was going for Ruiz, but I guess I'm with Kurt. I'm gonna have to wait till December next month to figure out who's gonna win this fight.
Yeah, I agree. Kurt, you think losing all that weight, he gonna be able to absorb Joshua's punches?
No. If that's true about the 30 pounds, he's going to gas out quickly because he's short, and losing that weight, it becomes a neurological thing, man. He's going to have to step on the gas, and that's going to force him to fight a different way. I hope it's not true, man. I really think so. I really hope it's not true. If that's the case, then I'm going to have to lean towards Joshua, even though Joshua has lost weight. But like I said, he's taller, so it would do him better if he lost some weight. But the 30 pounds is very excessive.
Yeah, I agree, man. But let's go ahead and get out because the General 7-8 will be on. But we're going to have Alycia Baumgardner. She'll be on tomorrow. Actually, she just texted me. She's saying Wednesday would be better for her. She said that she has some more training. So Wednesday, it's looking like Wednesday right now. She just texted me right now. So it's looking like Wednesday is the better day for her. So this is what we're going to do. Then tomorrow, I'm going to have, I don't know, I know Kurt is, I don't know if you're familiar, Ms. Boxing, with Lorenzo Truck Simpson. Are you familiar with him? Yeah, I know you are, Kurt. Are you familiar with him, Ms. Boxing?
No.
All right, well, check him out.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna get him on the show tomorrow. We'll get Lorenzo Truck Simpson on the show tomorrow. What you guys think about that? What you think about that, Kurt?
Oh man, that's great, man. Young prospect, man, coming up, man. I like his skill set. See, it's easy, when the skill set jumps out at you. I like him. He's very, very young, man. He has a long way to go, but so far, I like what I'm seeing, man. And just tell him to hone his craft and his skill.
All right, so that I love Lorenzo Truck Simpson, man. He's gonna have a fight coming up, so I definitely wanted to get him on the show. I told him I was gonna do that, so he could promote his fight coming up and things of that nature. Anyway, so that's what we'll do. We'll have Lorenzo Truck Simpson coming on, man. He's an animal, absolute beast, man. I love him. One of my favorite fighters coming up. I'm gonna tell you a quick story that before we jump off. I'm sitting next to the dude. The entire fight, Miss Boxing and Kurt, the entire fight, I thought, because where we sitting, I thought that it's mainly celebrities and boxers, right? The entire time I thought it was Jerron Ennis sitting with me. The entire time, right? So the dude he looks just like him, right? And I'm calling him Boots, and he's responding to me, right? And he's sitting there, his wife is sitting there, and he's responding to me. He's like, yeah. And he's telling me, and he's responding to Boots. And so when I'm leaving, I'm like, yo, I hit you up and I need you to get on the show. So he was like, yeah, I got you. And then when I'm leaving, I say, yo, don't forget, I want you to get on the show. So he was like, yeah, what you want to talk about? So I'm like, we're going to talk about your career, your legacy, your boxing, what you got coming up next, right? And he's like, yeah, but I don't box though. So I'm like, wait, what? Right? So I'm like, I'm and Sam Watson is with me, and I'm like, so I look at Sam. I say, yeah, that ain't Boots, that ain't Ennis. He's like, no, Blue, what you talking about, Blue? Come on, Blue, you've been doing this for too long, man. How how Sam started to get, man, Blue, what you talking about, man? You know that ain't him, man. Come on, man. I said, oh, snap, yo, fair. I said, yo, do people think you Jerron? I said, you know who Boots Ennis, Jerron Ennis? He said, no, I don't know. I don't know about him. I looked him up because people be asking me to take pictures. They think I'm him. The entire time, man, I thought that was him, man. I'm like, man, maybe this dude got in on the merits of people thought he was Ennis, man, as he was sitting ringside. I'm like, whatever, man. But yeah, so we'll get Lorenzo Truck Simpson on, man. Love Lorenzo Truck Simpson, man. Dude got hella skills, man. He got next, man. So but let's get up out of here. So we'll be back on 6 p.m. tomorrow time. Subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't subscribed. This is not the big channel, so I know a lot of people like, hey, where's my wrench and all that. This is the other channel, so that's the big channel. So we're gonna build it up over here, and we'll reach the same status as the other channel. So let's close it out. I know the General 7A Sports TV should be coming on. So go ahead, Miss Boxing, tell us any last words you got.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'll definitely take a look at Lorenzo Truck Simpson. Shout out to the people in the chat and Kurt. Always good to be in your presence because you all just know so much. I'm still learning. I've been watching it for a long time, but I'm definitely still learning. So again, thank you for having me, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
You already know. Go ahead, Kurt, close us out, bro.
It's been a pleasure, Miss Boxing. I've subscribed to your channel. I listen to you. Hey, we'll do a live stream together. I'm there for support. Blue's always on the front lines. That legend, the capo. Hey, man, I'm part of boxing. Everybody can hit me up. We can talk boxing. I love boxing as a passion. Been watching it for 45 years. It's my life, man, and I'm just glad to be talking with you guys. I don't gotta go to the gyms no more or the bars or the lounges, man. But it's a great platform. LDBC strong. New media. We'll see you guys tomorrow, man. And my name is Curtis Anderson, aka Kurt Sugar, and I just want to say peace, everybody.
Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Buzz Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon, and get all the new notification. Follow us on Instagram, Blue Buzz Sports TV. Y'all already know. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to new media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share this video. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back on, and we'll have a special guest on tomorrow. Salute to y'all. Peace and blessings to each and every one of y'all. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Have a good one.